have a few quick announcements. We have not this weekend, but next weekend on the 12th and 13th, we're going to have the first iteration of Unapologetically Black and Fast. This is going to be a new reoccurring hotfix marathon with black runners at the front and center in a celebration of Black joy. And you can find out more about that over at gamesdonequick.com/hotfix. The schedule is going to be up right now. And the first iteration is going to be 12 hours a day for the Saturday and the Sunday. And then at the end of the month, we have Frost Fatales starting, which is going to be February 27th to March 5th. You can use !FF in chat, or you can go to gamesdonequick.com/framefatales for more information on that. With all that said, we are joined by Protokami here. How are you doing today?
Hey, doing good, doing good.
So you are extremely passionate about this game, and I would love to learn how to speedrun this.
Okay. It's a very fun game. I actually got into it completely by accident.
Okay.
My first speed run I ever did was, I want to say it was like 3 years ago. I did a subcategory for Breath of the Wild, the Trial of the Sword.
Okay.
Kind of just burned myself out and hit world record on that. Got to keep that for about 6 months, and then it got the rug swept from up under me. But while I was doing that, I was kind of looking around for something else, and I randomly found Brave Fencer Musashi. And one of the what really got me into the run itself was a trick called Steamwood Skip, and we'll talk about that in when we get to it. But I thought it looked cool. I was like, man, I got to try it out. So go into the Discord, talk to some of the guys. Very friendly, very helpful, very knowledgeable of the run. I would definitely recommend anybody just interested, even if it's just interest in the game, to go and check out the Discord and talk to some of the guys there. But they kind of laid me out, got me set up, told me what I needed. They have very structured tutorials and guides on how to do things. Kind of followed that and did my first run, and yeah, I kind of I've been stuck with it ever since.
Okay. Uh, is the overall speed run something? So I know we were talking
Hmm.
a little bit about this earlier on.
Yes.
Um, how difficult is this, like in general, as a speed run? Is this like a super simple one to pick up, minus a
So
few things
this
here and there?
this I feel like, um yes, there is a so your hardest tricks are going to be at the beginning of the run, which, kind of
Yeah.
sucks, but it's one of those things where once you get through it, it's it's easy going. Relatively speaking, we'll say that. Like
Okay.
I mean, it's there are still some challenges in the run. You're still going to have to, learn optimal routes, different strategies. There are still a few tricks in there that need to be done, but the grunt of it, the hardest part is the first 20 minutes. And after that, hey, it's a good run. And even then, um one of the tricks, in my opinion, is the hardest. You really don't have to do until you're in top 20. Um
Yeah.
so it's not prevalent for you to do it when you first start running. Honestly, some of the there's going to be some tricks that you can skip. Sorry, I can't use my mouth words tonight. There are alternate things that you can do to avoid certain situations and avoid certain tricks until you're ready and comfortable to do them.
It's the kind of thing where they're intermediate to advanced level kind of thing, and you can
Yes, exactly,
overlook.
exactly, exactly.
Excellent. Um, do you have anything else you want to say about the run before we get into it, or?
No, play Brave Fencer Musashi. Seems like most of the people in the chat know. Seems like most of the people in the chat know what it is. If you haven't played it, it's definitely worth a casual playthrough.
All right. Well, whenever you're ready.
Okay. We're going to get started in 3, 2, 1. So, is it okay if we run this cutscene?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, we're gonna go through the cutscene, let you guys hear it, because this is kind of a treat that we don't get in the run itself. And this will be the only one that we'll go through, just to kind of give an introduction to the game, so people can kind of get an idea for the story. Everybody's got that old timey, yeah, that.
They were waiting for the king's absence to attack.
Like, why is the Bichotype so large? Does this mean?
It is eminently necessary that you perform hero summon.
So I always find it funny that everybody has such a different personality and a different dialect.
Brave fencer Musashi.
Princess, please resume.
Oh, it looks like we might not be getting any game audio.
Here goes nothing.
So like the princess has kind of like a Valley Girl accent. Ripson is like old timey. Scribe Shanky is very flamboyant.
He's rather small. This will not do.
It must have been too large of a task for the princess.
Hey, wait! Like,
Is it-
I'd actually make a mistake?
Is that just like a chibi version, like samurai compared to everybody?
That's how he actually looks.
Okay.
Maybe the real Musashi is this puny little thing.
What the? Who did you say was puny? And why are you guys wearing such stupid costumes?
Stupid costumes? Take that back, you little turd!
Please, princess, the little turd, calmeth down.
The name's Musashi, you geezer.
Oh, pardoneth me. We doth have a request for thou, Sir Musashi.
You're not serious, are you? It's too much of a chore for this little lad.
If the princess summoneth him, he must doth be a credible hero.
That sentence cannot be grammatically correct, even in that
I'm busy, you know?
that type of speech.
Can someone get me a Blanquin?
You've been summoned to
I-
save our world.
I think there is like some word processors that just like blew up.
Isn't it just a shame? Oh, and you will remain in this world until the absorbed Bincho energy from the summoning disappears.
What do you mean I have to save this world? And I'll die if that what's-it energy disappears? Ha!
There doth not beeth enough time. You must immediately head forthwith to Spiral Tower.
They would
This speech pattern is all
about
over
the
the
area
place.
looking for you.
For,
Yeah, I know.
just amongst the different people.
This fusion, it's called fusion.
Hey!
It feels like there's like,
Sword.
you explained it earlier, but it feels like there's just like 5 different like eras just like
Yeah,
clashing
yeah.
right now.
Enemy, it absorbs.
It's like one of those movies where you just like travel through time and you just have like one of every like generation or something.
Yeah, and that's exactly what. Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Assimilate? Sounds cool. Thanks, pal. It'll come in handy. By the way, what's this huge sheet and this note?
That's Lumina's sheath. We want you to go to Spiral Tower, which is like right behind the castle. The Sword of Luminescence, Lumina, is on the roof. That note will show you how to get there.
Okay, so I need to get Lumina, right?
So,
That's right. Our world can have peace
Oh, wait.
when we have Lumina and the 5 scrolls. And if you're the real Musashi, you can get Lumina. We're counting on you, you know? Huh? Ripson? Where's Musashi?
He doth be wed, princess. Impatient doth he be.
So one thing you're not gonna figure out. Well, you may, but you don't get the chance to. This game is very food punny. The kingdom that we're in is called the All You Can Eat Palace. The enemy is the Thirst Quencher Empire. The steward that we talked to, his name is Sir Ribson. You've got the carpenters Carvey, Dicey, and I can't remember what the last one was, but everybody has food-based names.
Okay.
So starting out, it's pretty much just fairly straightforward. What we're going to do is get rid of that guy. We'll come over here. We're gonna grab this ability, which is gunshot. And this is going to allow us to skip a text. So basically what ends up happening is, and I'll go through it anyway so you can see. We'll come up here.
Shoot, it's too far to jump. Hey, I know. I'll use gunshot to hit those logs and...
Since we've already got a gunshot, we just shoot the logs. Comes down.
Okay. And so basically you would have just done that instead of get the dialogue box.
Yeah. So we do it a little bit further back. So we skip the dialogue box. And the other side to it is that it's a lot faster to break down the statues. There's going to be 4 statues when we come in here. And instead of going through and smacking them all with our sword, we're going to walk for a little bit and then shoot them down.
Gotcha.
And there's a way to do this. Just kind of angle it off screen. Not like that. I completely messed that one up. But about right here. And it's already off. And I think we've got one more. And that should be the last of it. That's going to activate the tower.
So you said the gunshot was a power up. How long do you have it for, I guess, or is it just a special ability?
So you have it for until you get a new ability. It stays with you.
Gotcha. Okay.
And that's kind of one of the things in this game is you hold R1 to charge your sword, press square to throw it. It'll latch onto an enemy, and you just spam square until the gauge on the left fills up, and you gain that enemy's ability. So coming up here, you're gonna have things like that coming at you. And there's a way, obviously when you're going uphill, jumping up is faster than running. But if you're able to do frame perfect jumps, frame 1 jumps, the game doesn't register that you've actually landed. So I'm avoiding, well, except that right there. I'm avoiding having the item spawn. It gets a little harder as you go up because the camera gets in such a weird position.
And it's just a little harder to time it.
Yeah.
Someone turn on the lights. Where is this place?
All right, so this is the part of the game where we farm for the money we need. It varies depending on the runner. Some runners get 2150, some get a little bit more. I personally like to get a little bit more. And we use the bats that are gonna appear to farm that money. It's completely random. We could get 50, we could get 100. What we're really fishing for is the lucky 500 piece. It's a really big gold coin. And as we're going up, if you don't get it, there's a point where you can just kind of go back up. There it is. And they'll just respawn.
Okay.
You get about, I want to say 3 or 4 attempts to get it if you're just going straight up and not making them respawn. Nope. I really want to get this 500 piece so you guys can see it. Not that we really need it because we got the money we needed. So no luck this time. And so the gunshot ability that we just used, we're going to use it to take down the bell.
So, you were saying the money you need is dependent on the runner. This is something you could probably spend like an extra minute or two grinding as a beginner just to make sure you have enough money
Yes.
and
So
have like extra resources if you need it.
yes. So 2150 is the exact number we need for the sleep schedule and the amount of heals we take. We take 3 gels for the run, but you can get a little bit extra if you feel like, you know, you want to carry 2 or 3 extra gels.
Okay.
So this part up here, there is a platform, and what the game wants you to do is go over here, assimilate. The ability is called assimilate when we copy abilities. They want us to assimilate the red guys and use their ability that's used to stun. But we're not going to stun. We're actually going to jump over the plate. We're going to walk back, let them hit us, and we're just going to take the sword.
Oh, so you basically just like damage. You use your iframes to just go through it.
No. We have to. So essentially, we have to stun them on the plate, and that gives us enough time for the barrier to get off of the sword. Yeah.
Okay, I understand. Yeah.
But because they go through their swinging motion, it gives us just enough time to run up and grab the sword without doing all the extra stuff.
Gotcha.
And so now we're in a auto scroller. If you get hit, you're basically starting back at the top of the tower.
Ooh.
So we're just gonna move to the right and avoid most of the stuff that we have to duck and dodge. And then now we have to make our way to the middle because that blind spot for the objects is gone. That jump is a little bit tricky. Huh?
You go ahead.
Okay, no, I was just gonna say that jump that I just did was a little bit trickier. Just because the game, basically how the game works is it teaches you like, hey, we're telling you when you need to jump. So it's teaching you like, hey, jump here, jump as I tell you, jump as soon as I tell you to jump. But when you go to the river and you press jump when it's supposed to, when you think it's supposed to happen, you're actually going to end up jumping early and fall in the river.
Who are you?
Okay.
I'm Rude Trick, and you're...
Best voice actor in the game, by the way.
Musashi!
We'll go ahead and go through this. There's one line in this entire game that I absolutely love, and we're gonna hear it. So right now it's teaching you about how to use Lumina. So basically you hold R1 the same thing you would do to absorb an enemy. You would hold R1, charge the meter, and instead of pressing square, you press triangle, and you do a Lumina spin. One thing I will note in this run, we are not using fusion, the smaller sword, at all. Lumina gives the best damage, and it makes it the most optimal thing to use.
Okay.
So we do that. Press triangle. Hold on. Best line in the game.
Ah, shucks! Or else y'all gonna get a licking.
Never gets old.
Come on, you're history.
So
pal.
with this fight, I'm kind of gonna have to go and explain it at the same time. Basically, what happens there is I position myself in the center, charge up the Lumina swing, and hit both legs at the same time. This I can stop right here, I think. This right here is a little bit easier to do. Going into the second phase, the frames are just a little bit wider, so it's going to be a little bit harder to position ourselves for the break. So this time we go under. I'm gonna turn around. So we're in a good spot. And I'll explain what happened there in just a sec. So that steam that's coming off of his legs have a hurt box. And when you saw me jump into the air like that, that was me getting hit by it. Lumina Swing has iframes. And if you swing at the correct timing, you can actually avoid taking damage from the steam, allowing you to stay there longer to get that second hit in. And so right now, no, go ahead. I'm sorry. It's not a big deal.
I was gonna say, I know I used it already, and you just use it. For anybody who doesn't know, an iframe is just an invincibility frame, which is a frame you won't take damage on, even if you should have.
Yes. So we're gonna set up because he's gonna do a jump. We'll go ahead and start charging. Hit the gym. Got a lucky high hit. Normally it takes 1 luminous spin and a jump slash, but we hit for 83, which is an abnormal amount of damage. And this is where I just pressed the spacebar like I was speedrunning. Really bad habits.
Yeah.
When you're trying to mess with me. Oh, almost forgot. I wonder where that idiot root trip took the princess.
So I always feel bad going through this portion of the game because we are literally demolishing a village, and there are people just out on town getting their houses destroyed. I'm pretty sure insurance wasn't a thing back then, so it's just kind of like,
Oh, no.
Sorry about your bad luck.
Oh, Sir Musashi, been waiting for you.
Who are you?
I'm Scribe Shanky. Well, you see, my job for now is to read these books for you. Come closer.
Okay, so this is where you kind of, if you want to figure out more about the game, it'll teach you about certain things, what Musashi, the Legend of Musashi, what Benchotites are, the all-you-can-eat kingdom, the Thirst Quencher Empire. It also teaches you shogi, which is kind of an important deal for later on in the game, but you know, going into it blind, you wouldn't know that. So we're just gonna say we don't want to read anything.
Yep, very.
He's going to advise us to get to the village, but we can't because the gondola is broken. Then he suggests that we use our 2 big swords to get down. So we'll hit go to the village, and we're going to ramble our way down to the village.
The logical way to go.
Yes, I can't think of a better way to get somewhere.
This is Grillin' Village? Let's see what I
Grillin'
can find
Village.
Yeah, yep. I told you, very food.
Yeah.
I'm kind of hungry. Better eat before I starve.
Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to the inn, and we're going to sleep once. This is a varying situation. Some you can sleep twice. I sleep once. It's just to set us up to where it'll be evening by the time we get to where we're going. And the reason why we want it to be evening is because there's a guard that stands in the way of where we need to be.
I imagine, so obviously, time matters. Do the days matter at all? Is that going to come into play?
The days do matter. More so the days matter for 2 reasons. One, for the pawn shop, because he closes on a specific day. And there is a crest that we have to liberate that only is available on Sky Day. But that's more towards the end of the game.
Okay.
So we're going to... I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do, and then we're gonna go do it. We're gonna take the ability from this flower, and it's the hop ability. So this is an ability that's used to get over brambles, which you'll see later on. But what's interesting about it is that if you can cancel this on the same frame as you land, you get a boosted jump. So lag kind of picked up there, so I wasn't able to quite get it. We'll try it again. All right, so we got it. And how you know you got it is I canceled the jump at the same time you get the audio cue for when you hit the ground. So the boosted jump is going to look something like this. So I got all that distance from just storing that jump. Now, one thing I forgot to mention is that while you're doing the jump, you are holding X. This is and what's happening is Musashi is automatically doing an auto jump off the ledge. You don't have to do anything outside of holding X for it. So now we're going to take this ability again, and yes, this is a frame perfect trick. It's got to be done on frame 1. This is one of the tricks that I mentioned earlier. That is one of the hardest tricks because there's no way to buffer it. There's no way to make it easier. It's literally just a do or die. This is a trick that even us in the top 3 can get wrong on occasions.
If you get that wrong, what's the backup? Do you just try again until you get it?
This is one of the tricks that doesn't actually have a backup. It's a
okay.
It's a 40-second loss.
Okay.
Okay, so I missed it. I was a frame off, which, you know, it's fine. And I have more than enough money. So if this ends up going in too late, which is not, worst case scenario, it becomes morning, the guard comes back, and then I have to go back to the inn and sleep until the evening again. Try it again. That jump that I did, it's a little bit of a trick. It has to be done on the, and he's in my way. I'm gonna go ahead and cancel. It has to be done at the very last second, and it has to be a straightforward jump. The reason why I reset on that is because you want to be as close as you possibly can when this trick starts. Because once you get out into the area we were just in, you only get about 3 hops before it cancels.
Okay.
So I'm going to turn my audio up just a little bit more so I can hear the audio cue. Some of us use visuals, like you see the desk coming out. Those are good cues to use for when you should cancel. I go off the audio pattern. Okay, we got it. So now that we have it, I'm holding X, and that's going to keep the jump boosted. And what we're going to do is we're going to push ourselves into this wall, and we're going to go slightly down left. And what we're doing is we're using this boosted jump to get to this area. And what we just skipped was going up the mountain, collecting the 4 logs, and then doing a rafting minigame to come back down. Saves a good chunk of time. And this gets us the, what is this, the L brace? Gets us the bracelet, which we're gonna go and appraise here in a minute. This is what's gonna allow us to climb up walls. Come back this way. And so what I'm going to try and do here is, since we're kind of outside of the time that I would normally be back, I kind of have to do some mathing here, where it's 3, 8, 9, 10, 11. Actually, that works out perfectly. Okay, so the pawn shop opens at 11 o'clock. Normally what we would do is, on a faster time, we would sleep once. Actually, no, we could sleep twice, but what I like to do is sleep once and nap twice, because I like to be there as it opens to give me enough time to do the next trick we're about to do. But We're going to sleep once. That's going to be 8 hours. That'll put us at 11:15, which is perfect. Come out. He's open, and we're going to appraise the bracelet. Get a little cutscene.
Who are you?
I'm Musashi. What a disgusting shop.
Be quiet. What do you want anyways?
That's what you want to do. Insult the shopkeeper immediately.
Hey, I do that every day I go to Walmart. And so now he explains that with this ability, we can climb up walls. And now we say, see you later. So after we've done that, we come out, we notice that everything's weird. I'm going to kind of skip through this because these guys, for whatever reason, don't have voice acting for this. They're pretty much telling us that Steamwood's gone haywire. We need to go and talk to the administrator. And he's going to tell us how to fix it. Or he's supposed to fix it, but he's going to fake a back injury, and he's going to give us the manual to fix it. You're going to notice there's an ongoing trend of adults getting a child to do adult work around here. But we're going to tell them that we're going to do it, but we're actually not going to do it. We're going to do the next trick, which is called Steamwood Skip. But before we do that, we're going to go ahead and buy our heals that we need for the run. We'll do that, and I'm going to buy a mint.
So, the question, I had this question like 10 minutes ago, and I completely forgot what it was until now. What actually advances the time? Like, you were in a menu for a minute. Does time advance during that? Or...
No. Okay, so that's actually a really good question. So, time doesn't advance during a cutscene and during transitions.
Okay.
Time also doesn't stop when you pause the menu or when you pause the game.
Okay.
So this is not a new trick, but it's something that we started utilizing more. I'm not too clear on the reasons why it works, but basically what we're doing is I'm going to look to the left, swing my sword. As the sword makes contact with the wall, face towards the sword and face towards the wall, and I'm going to get a boost. Like that. So this is the guard. I'll pause here again. This is the guard that we were waiting for. And the reason why I'm pausing while I'm doing this is because Musashi has a tiredness level. And that's something we want to avoid while we're doing this, because he ends up slowing down and you won't be able to do some tricks at that speed. So normally what we used to do is we would walk up to this guy and we would sleep till the evening, and he would walk away and we'd be able to transition. Now we're just simply going to jump right over him. Bye.
Yeah.
So we're going to come over here. We're going to take our next ability, which is Shrink from the Magician. And we're going to use that ability on this guy because it's the only thing that'll get him down. And so right now we're making our way towards the first scroll of the game, the Earth Scroll. And this was the trick that I mentioned earlier. That's the hardest trick in the game. But you don't have to do this trick to get a somewhat competitive time. You can avoid this trick and just do Steamwood until you're like top 20. So we'll make our way up the hill. We smack a few guys because we want to build our Lumina level as we go. I'm gonna hit him again just because. All right, so here's where Steamwood Skip happens. I'm gonna explain what I'm gonna do, and it's not gonna make sense, but once I do it, it'll make sense. So I'm going to set myself up in the corner when this block comes out. I'm going to do a series of jumps on the wall to line myself up for the jump. And what is going to happen if I do everything correctly, it's going to allow me to jump above the block that's above us. Typically that block, you have no way of getting around the block until you do the mini game after Steamwood. There's like a little climbing race that you do with one of the bad guys. You make your way up, get the scroll, and have fun throwing a rock down to make them fall. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the trick so you guys can see how this thing goes. Oh. 7 up, and then we're gonna hold diagonal left. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're gonna go up twice. We're gonna hold up, jump. He's gonna go to the right, and we're gonna climb. Right now, I'm pause buffering for a specific frame. And now we're going to hold right, and we're gonna pause buffer for the next frame I need. Okay, that looks right, so we're gonna go left. And that was a mess up. So we're gonna try it again. Gonna speed it up a little bit. That doesn't look right. So this is the trick that I was saying earlier, where even if you do everything correctly, the game can still deny you. That looks good. There it is.
Okay. So to summarize that, you just did a bunch of jumps to make you did a bunch of predetermined movement to get yourself in the right position. You pause buffered for very specific frames, and then eventually the game decided that it would let you through.
The game
Okay.
allowed, yeah. So one of the things that I didn't mention about this trick, there's one more important thing about this trick. As you're jumping, there is a very specific frame that you have to let go of X. If you don't let go of X at this specific frame, what's gonna happen is Musashi's gonna go to the top, he's going to land where he's supposed to, but then he falls back through the block. But the cool thing about that is that you can actually pause buffer and find the frame that you need to avoid falling through. So we're just gonna come over here real quick. We're going to save this guy. Mercenary Meatloaf. So the mercenaries are important for the run because they have to tell you how to get through a certain part of the game. Even if you know how to get through it, it doesn't matter. It's kind of like a flag that the game has, where it just flat out it'll deny you entry without rescuing the 3 mercenaries first.
Okay.
Oh, he did it. Okay, we're gonna come back over here. There we go. So I'm not too pressed for time for this next trick, but this trick is called Trebuchet. Basically, we're going to do. I'll let you guys listen to this. But basically, we're gonna do 4 frame perfect jumps onto the roof of a church.
Hey, where were you, pal?
Well, I had things to do, you know? By the way, Musashi, how's your journey coming?
This is Steve Bloom, by the way.
Thanks to you, I got the Earth Scroll. Oh yeah, I forgot to return the treasure to you. It's called Elbrace. Supposed to have some kind of special power.
No, that's okay, Musashi. You should be equipped with the legendary armor. You must collect the 5 scrolls and bring peace to this world.
All right, thanks. Oh yeah, do you know what Crest Guardians are?
Crest Guardians. They guard the crests, which can only be set free by the corresponding scroll. Perhaps because you took the Earth Scroll, a Guardian will awaken in Hell's Valley.
If I crush the Guardian, then I can free the Crest.
And when each crest is liberated, Lumina's power will increase.
Whatever, pal. So, all I need to do is pulverize the Crest Guardian and free the scroll, right?
That's right.
Well, off to Hell's Valley. See you later.
That's such a casual thing to
Hold
say.
on. That place was once used as a high-security prison, and it's still controlled by the palace. It's not that easy to get access to.
Oh yeah? Then I'll go back to the castle and ask the geezer. John, what are you gonna do?
Man, I don't
Casual conversation, you know.
I guess I'll start searching for the next trip.
No big deal.
Good luck, Musashi. Let's go, Leno.
Yes, this is Spike Spiegel's voice actor.
Oh well. Whoops, almost forgot. Gotta go to the palace and get permission to go into Hell's Valley.
All right, so I'm actually going to show you both versions of this trick. So there's this trick, which is not arguably is the hardest version of it, but there is a better method. Well, an easier method. Oh, messed that up. Oh, I just can't get it, huh? Okay, so to explain what I just did, we're doing 4 frame perfect jumps, and the reason why we jump off the tree is because the tree gives us the height we need. If we're doing the jumps on frame 1, that allows us to keep the height that we gained from the tree. From there, we go to the corner of the well that we just did, and we jump towards that specific corner of the church roof. Now, at some point during the height of your jump, you want to release X. 3 things is going to happen. Either you released it too soon and you end up sliding off the side of the church, like I'm doing right now. You did it too late, and you'll see your shadow go over the church roof, but when you go to scroll cancel to land on the roof, it won't work because you're too far up. Or you land perfectly where you need to be and scroll cancel, and you end up staying in that position. But we got the first option. Yeah, happened again. Worst case scenario, you end up having to go back to the tree, but best case scenario, well, second best case scenario, is you're able to catch yourself, continue to jump, go back around, and just do it again without getting on the tree again. But we weren't so lucky the second time around. I think I'm too high up. That looks too high. There it is. Okay, so to give a brief explanation of what just happened. When I made it to the corner, I was too high up. And it was just something that I can tell just from doing the trick as often as I could, as often as I have. And I have to thank Piano Man for doing this, because he was the one that discovered you can do this. If you hold upright and go for 1 frame, you end up being able to save the trick. So you go upright, scroll cancel, and you end up putting yourself in the position that you need to. So from this point, what we're going to do is just jump off that position, jump onto the roof, and then go into the bell tower. What And the reason why this is kind of on a timer. Hold on.
You're Musashi? What a joke! Like, how audacious of you to have the same name as brave fencer Musashi. Hey, be quiet! Who are you anyway? I'm Bubbles. Because of my beauty, I won second in the Miss Thirst Quencher contest. No autographs, please.
Miss Thirst Quencher? Don't you mean the contest for old hags?
How dare you, you little runt! Like, just because Sis won first place and I was stuck with second.
Just like the princess. Why are all the women I meet like this?
Like the cat's got your tongue? Well, whatever. Give me Lumina.
Ha! I'll show you what it feels like to be shredded by Lumina!
What a brat! No use trying to negotiate. So, like, get him, boys!
You guys blind? Come on, you're history!
Ha! It's only a matter of time before you, like, start whimpering. Time for Dentian! Come out, enemy soldiers!
Whoa! You play fair, don't you? You got a whole army!
Like it's because you're such a little brat. Ta-ta! Oh, gotta go home and, like, take a shower, you know?
So
Shoot! Better start.
So the reason why this was kind of a timed trick, we wanted to get this land this trick before midnight, and the reason why is because it speeds up this fight by a lot. We actually don't have to go through the entire fight. We literally just go through, and we go through the cutscenes of him talking, and then it kills the zombies right then and there. If you do this the way you're supposed to, which is wait till you talk to what is it? Wait till you talk to the priest. The priest has you come in at 2 a.m. You go up to the bell tower, go through this cutscene, and then from 2 a.m. to 7 a.m., you're just trying to survive. You cannot kill these. You are literally just walking through, trying not to die. But if you get in between the hours of 7 a.m. to 12 a.m., you're good to skip this entire fight, which is what's happening right now.
Gotcha, because the sunlight kills them.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Just as I thought! Sunlight's their weakness!
So, no voice acting on this. We're gonna skip it. So this puts us into chapter 3, I believe. We literally went from chapter 2 or chapter 1 to the middle of chapter 3. He comes out, gives us a rope, and now he wants us to bring in the bell tower, which we're going to agree to do. Not the bell tower, the bell for the tower, which we're going to agree to do. This is the last hardest trick for this early in the game. This is a frame perfect trick. Frame perfect, input perfect, all of that. We're lining ourselves up to basically escape the church. We can't just walk out like we used to, because at this point in the game, the front doors are boarded up, so we have no way of escaping. Essentially, we're going to jump onto the side of the wall and then jump onto the invisible border the invisible barrier that keeps us from jumping onto the roof, and then we're going to use that to jump over the fence. So we'll line ourselves up, look for the frame we need, scroll cancel. So one thing to note, scroll canceling resets Musashi to a neutral position. So if you're a frame, just a frame above something, and you scroll cancel, he'll stop on that frame, which is what happened right now. Now what we're going to do is we're going to mess that up. The second part of this is scroll cancel on the first frame of his jump, which that's the second or third frame. go. Second frame again. Inside it. And you'll know you'll get this. You'll know you'll get this trick right when he sticks to the ground like that. And if you can't tell, okay, there it is. You can tell that you did it because there's only one puff of smoke and he's barely off the ground. We'll scroll cancel again, and what we've done now is store to jump. So now what's going to happen is we're going to tap to the left, and he's going to jump off the side like that. And I pressed too much. It's got to be a very light tap when you do it. Nope. There it is. Put too much into it again. This is one of those tricks where it is a little difficult starting out, but it's one of those things where once you get it, you got it. And we got it. So if you saw, I was kind of standing on nothing, but that was the literal barrier that surrounds the top of the church. So we're going to wait for 2 a.m. and just walk our way on in.
Weird.
And now we have access to the basement, which is the first dungeon of the game. And we're going to jump over the quote-unquote soda pop bottles to just avoid a 1-second dialogue.
Quick question before we
Yes.
get too far off of the frame perfect stuff.
Mhm.
The pausing for the pause buffering.
Yes.
Okay, let me try to articulate this in a way that makes sense. Is it so? Okay, if you just hold down the start, like the pause button, will it frame pause and unpause like one frame, like frame perfectly, or do you have to manually pause and unpause for each frame?
You have to manually pause and unpause for each frame. There's a rhythm for it to go
Gotcha.
frame by frame. You can even pause and unpause on the same frame.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I know there is what is it? Zelda? Ocarina of Time? I think Ocarina of Time has kind of like the same thing. Which level we're at?
I think so. So this is the part where I admit to having never played Ocarina of Time.
So we are just kind of doing just optimization of this dungeon. One of the runners mentioned level routes, which is something that we just started incorporating with our runs. There's one of the ones on here is kind of, I won't say bad, but it can hang you up. And it's basically, it's based off of the amount of BP you have, which is kind of like your magic points. And it's kind of why I'm doing this first, because doing certain things gets us levels faster. The two things that we're focusing on are Lumina levels and body levels, and those are the things that are going to increase our damage throughout the game. We just block the first set of arrows and jump over the second. We're gonna shrink both these guys on one ability. Also to note, we do that to gain body levels, but we're not gaining those levels because it's kind of time-based. So you want to get here as fast as possible to capitalize on that.
So you still have shrink that we
Yes.
got a while ago. Are you carrying it just because, like, is it absolutely necessary? Like, if you accidentally grab something else, would you be fine, or do you absolutely need shrink?
We need to shrink just for that area.
Okay.
And you typically you can only get rid of the ability you have by taking another ability.
Yeah.
I can't remember if abilities go away over time, but from what I understand, you keep an ability until you get a new one.
Yeah. So I just wasn't sure if there, like, the simple reason was just there hasn't been a need to get a new one, or if shrink was absolutely crucial going forward.
No. We actually just changed abilities for bowl.
Yeah.
And this is what's going to help us with. This is going to help us get through the map because it's necessary, but it's also going to get us the levels we need. So there's our other body up. And we just kind of face tank that damage. Actually, don't think I hit him. And we're going to do the most RNG thing in this run. You can bowl this perfectly and never get a strike. And it has everything to do with how they move. And so that right there, you see how my BP is very low? That's why this leveling route is a little iffy, because if you don't get your it right off the bat, let me go ahead and heal so we don't kind of mess the run up. If you don't get it right off the bat, then you're kind of messing yourself up. And you'll have to go back and find other methods to get BP. We're gonna do a little swag strat right here. We're just gonna sleep while the temple is trying to crush us to death. And you think we're gonna get crushed, but we're not. There's no reason to do that, honestly, outside of knowing you can do it.
The swag strat.
So we're gonna go again, try for the strike. We gotta pick up the spare. Got the one. So ideally you want to go for the strike, because it gives you really good, it gives you a level up in everything. Oh, okay. Made a mistake. Mistakes were made. Mistakes were made. I think we're locked. Oh, okay. All right. We're good. Oh my God. Let's chalk that up to things that don't normally happen in a run. Okay. Oh man. All right, we're gonna go ahead and use the other gel, which is fine. We've got plenty of money to get more. So yeah, that is That is not an ideal situation that you want to put yourself in, especially when there's multiple Bambis around. Because if one gets you, it's a party.
Yeah, that did not feel like something that was intended, Strats.
All right, we're gonna make our way down to the next part. This is probably one of the best songs in this dungeon, and by probably I mean it is. We're gonna smack this guy. So we're gonna set ourselves up for another bowl. And I definitely did not line that up. Oh, wait, nope, we got it, cool. There's our body up. I was off by just a little bit, but the frames from the zombies were just wide enough to hit the other ones. We're gonna do a small skip here. That's gonna save us just a little bit of time. That's not it. And we're gonna do it again here. It's perfectly possible to do that without the damage boost, but I just damage boost through it.
Okay.
What I did right there was just kind of like a timing to let me know when it was okay to make the jump. These bats are super annoying. And so as long as you stay in the door, they won't attack, but once you leave outside is when they go. So it's better to time it to where the pillars are making their way back up and you can just keep going straight through. We're gonna do another little skip and completely bomb it, which is fine. We'll just do it again. One thing you can do to keep yourself from falling is as you're in the air, if you hold R1, Musashi will stop wherever he lands and hold up Lumina. And then this is just a little bit of optimization. We hit our next core. And we move on. We're going to move on to the last core. The tricks in this aren't really that big. It just saves us from doing the maze. So we'll run down here, grab, jump on the platforms, go for a little ride. Stop right here. We're going to scroll cancel on the first frame of our jump, go diagonal up, and we just skip the first part of that little mini maze. Now, this one is a little bit trickier. And I've never been able to properly explain it. So I'm going to do it first. And then I'll try my best to explain it. So we did the same thing that we did back there. And from this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold upright, and he's going to walk in a straight line. And if I line myself up correctly, then I'm going to be able to make this jump over this giant hole. So I'm pretty sure I did do it correctly, but the problem is that I'm tired.
That's extremely valid.
Yeah. So the that was one thing that I mentioned earlier, is that we want to stay on top of our tiredness. So as you can see, our tiredness is at 71%. I think it's at 70% is when you start noticing he becomes a little bit more sluggish. So we take the mint. All right, it's down to 20%, and we try it again.
Can't even escape from being tired in my video game.
All right, we got the buffer. Try it again, and we missed. So we're gonna go down. I'm gonna make a little guess. Try it again. There it is.
Nice.
So I was just slightly off.
So the tired meter, like, it doesn't look like there's a display on your screen, so that's just something
No,
you kind of
it
have
only,
to...
so it only, yeah, you kind of have to. So on the right side, if you look at Musashi's face, those are indicators of his mood.
Gotcha.
It will, when you see it start to shut over his profile picture, that kind of gives you an indicator on how tired he is.
Okay.
So I'm not jumping into the void. There's actually there's a path that you have to memorize.
Like the Ghost Gym in Pokemon Crystal.
Exactly. Gonna avoid getting slid off. One thing to note, while you're doing this, whether it's casual or a speedrun, you can totally mess up, get hit by the blocks, and end up on the ground below you, and have to do all of that over again.
Oh no.
Jump here, here, and here. All right, so you can't see it below me, but directly below me there are spikes. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna step on the platform in the middle and kind of bounce between floors. Just like that. Do our little jumps. And that's the last core. And the reason why we're going after these cores, we skip a good part of the story, so you don't get to see the explanation. But basically, the restaurant manager finds this place down here, and he tells us that there's something down here that can save the village, which turns out to be false. It's actually just a treasure, and the treasure turns out to be a disgusting belt, and that's actually what it's called, the disgusting belt. So he feels bad because by opening the dungeon, he allowed the zombies to come out into the village, and ends up getting one of the kids bitten, which we don't care. Tim's a not nice kid, in the nicest way to put that. So we got the ugly belt, and what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go back to the inn. We're going to sleep till 11 o'clock, and we're going to get the next piece of legendary armor. And this piece of legendary armor is going to allow us to do, I don't know what the name we call it, but it's just infinite jumps. It allows us to do infinite jumps.
Before we get too further, would that be a good time for a quick break?
Yes, actually. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So we are just going to take a quick pause here, just a few minutes break, so everybody can get up, get some water, maybe get a quick snap, anything you need to do to, get up, stretch your legs, just make sure everybody's staying healthy. Just before we go to our break, I'll just a few reminders here. If you're over on YouTube watching right now, you can come watch us live over at twitch.tv/gamesdonequick. We have live content pretty much every night. Most of the nights they start at 7 p.m. Eastern. Weekends will be 1 p.m. Eastern, but you can go to gamesdonequick.com/hotfix and you can take a look at our schedule there and see what's going on there. And also, all of your subs and bits are going to help support all of this weekly content. So if you like this show, if you liked TFS before, or any of our other weekly content, consider supporting the channel through subscribing, sharing, anything like that. It really helps us with this content, and it'll allow us to keep making content like this. But like I said, we're going to take a quick break, about 5 minutes, and then we'll continue with the rest of the tutorial. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Games on Quick Hotfix. This is How to Train a Speedrunner, and we are in the middle of a tutorial of Brave Fencer Musashi. We're here with Proto Kami. How are you doing, Proto, after that break?
Good, good. A lot better. Got to stretch my legs. Being 6'7", you kind of need to do that.
Oh, yeah, I can't imagine.
All right,
Well,
are we get to?
Floor is all yours whenever you're ready.
Okay. So we're gonna sleep so that we can get back to I just lost my train of thought. We're gonna sleep so we can get back to the pawn shop. Normally, what we would do is sleep once, and that'll put us at 11. But we're a little late, so what I'm going to do is take a shorter sleep, which is this down here. This is a 3-hour nap, and then everything else gives you a full 8 hours. So we're gonna do 6 hours instead, and that should put me at 10:45. And that'll be 15 minutes in game time before the pawn shop opens, and there we go. We'll get the ugly belt appraised into the L belt. Now we can do double jumps. And we're gonna leave. Smell you later. Restaurant manager is gonna come out and he's gonna tell us that we need to get into the well and fix some stuff. He's gonna give us a rope to get down there, but we're not gonna fix anything. What we are gonna do is go down to the well. We're going to get an item early, and we're also going to get the water scroll. Water scroll is crucial to this upcoming boss fight. If you go into the boss fight without the water scroll, you essentially soft lock because you can't damage it. So this is where we introduce double jump for the first time. Or I'm sorry, the infinite jump for the first time. What we're going to do is we're going to jump, and at the very start of the double jump, when we press X, we're going to pause, scroll cancel, and continue the jump. And that gets us an old shirt, which we will appraise into the L vest. So we'll run over here. We'll grab the water scroll. Oh, missed the water scroll. And so there was something that I didn't do that I said I was going to do. I wanted to show you guys both methods for church entry. So we're going to take a little detour. We're going to appraise the vest, and then we're going to show you the alternate method. The alternate method is a lot easier. And funnily enough, for the church entry, you can do that multiple times without crashing the game. And you can end up in a pretty funny situation where you end up with multiple ropes from the priest and just have a full inventory of ropes. Don't know why you'd want to do that, but you can. So now we've got the L vest. What the L vest does is it shortens our charge time for Lumina. So right now you see like it's speeding on up there. And that's essential for pretty much the rest of the boss fights. So you saw that I did the trebuchet, which is the four frame perfect jumps off the tree. For those of you that didn't see it, it looks like this. I'm not going to do the full thing, but you're essentially holding on to that height that the tree gives you. The alternate thing that you can do is come back out here. We'll get the hop ability again. And you'll have to excuse me if I get this trick wrong, because it's been so long since I've done it.
This is one of those tricks that you did it when you learned it, and that was a long time ago.
Yeah, pretty much. But I'll give you guys the gist of how we do it. So we're gonna take this hop ability, and we're gonna come to. Oh, actually, we're not. I completely forgot. We're in chapter 3. I'll come and do it later, but because this is closed, we can't do it. Completely forgot about that, and I'm sorry. I kind of did a little tease.
My hopes have been shattered.
17, 18, 19, 20, 20.
Make yourself at home.
So we can do an 8-hour nap, and that'll put us exactly at midnight, which is what we want. Can we make it? Can we? Nope. And the door closes. All right, it's no problem. The doors open up every 30 minutes, so we just wait for 12:30. We're good to go. Okay. Oh,
An empty soda.
we got the 1 second text. We got to reset. I'm sorry, guys. All right, so instead of going and doing all that again, we're gonna go down this way, and we're going to double jump over this pit. And instead of using the key that we're supposed, or the statue that we're supposed to get, we're going to take damage here, and clip our way into the entryway. And that wasn't a damage boost. We just go into the. We're literally pushing ourselves into the door.
Okay.
We'll do an infinite jump here. Do a double jump here. Double jump here. Just optimal routing. One double jump here. Skips a good chunk of that little maze that they got over there. We're gonna smack that guy, jump around, smack that guy. We're gonna smack this guy too. You know what? We're gonna smack this guy. So if I did my level routing right, that would have been a +2 on Lumina, but I missed a few hits, which is fine. So we're going to do two things here. We're going to double jump, infinite jump, and we're going to switch to the water scroll, because we're going to need this as soon as the boss fight starts. And we're going to push ourselves into the door once again.
This must be the second Crest Guardian. Uh-oh, it's starting to move. What a loser. The ceiling's collapsed and he can't move. Geek.
Then he proceeds to cry, which makes you kind of feel bad for saying that.
I'm on the Crest Guardian side all of a sudden.
Oh, we got it. Okay, cool. So, what you're seeing me do is kind of like basically optimal hitting with the water scroll. If you just hold your wrong button. If you just hold your triangle button, what does he do? He is not doing what I want him to. That's not. I don't even know what's happening right now because that's not normal. If you just hold triangle, you get a nice little stream of bubbles, but you can increase that stream by alternating pressing square with triangle, and it brings out a slightly faster jet. The only downside to it is that if you miss a hit, it throws it all off. So like that, what just happened right there. So instead of a stream, it came out in like little spurts. So it looks like I'm taking damage, but what's happening is I'm activating the water shield as right when I'm getting hit.
You had to be super like on point with that, or is there a little bit of leniency?
So come back. Yeah, this was not a very optimal fight. There we go. And that's the last one. Okay, sorry, repeat what you said?
For the bubble shield, what, like, is there a lot of leniency to that, or like, do you have to be frame perfect?
No, there's a little leniency to it.
Okay.
But you generally want to start it as soon as you see the gauge fill up.
Gotcha.
All right, so we get a little cutscene with the Thirst Quencher Empire, and we're just gonna let that rock. This is a big treat for the runners because we literally never get to see this stuff.
So there's no all cutscenes category, is what I'm hearing.
We don't get to enjoy the game at all.
This is so boring. It doesn't seem like Musashi will ever come and save me. Hey, I didn't realize it before, but like, isn't this a Bincho type? Come to think of it, they were talking about summoning another hero. I know! I'll do another hero summon and like get another hero to save me! I'm such a genius! Okay, come out, come out! Alright, I did
That girl you
it!
just saw?
Like,
It's gonna be one of the best fights in the game.
to be able to summon 2 heroes.
Well, who are you, young man?
I am Kojiro. Where's Musashi?
Sir Kojiro, what a hunk! Take me away from here!
I am sorry, but I do not have the time. I must challenge Musashi to a duel.
Like, what are you saying? I summoned you here. If you don't listen to me, you won't be able to return to your world. Do you understand?
I must get revenge. That is all I care about.
Too bad, princess. Well, good timing. If you want to fight Musashi, come with me.
I understand.
Is this a joke? You're not thinking of taking someone else's man, are you? How cruel.
You gotta love it. Okay. So it should be, yep, 8:30. We're good. We're gonna move on to the next trick, which is slug skip. At this point in the game, you should have, I think you should have saved someone who is going to give you rock salt. And typically what you would do is use that rock salt to shrink a giant slug so that you can get to the area we're about to get to. But we're not going to do that. We're going to just jump over the slug, essentially. What I did there was just scroll cancel to reset the gauge so that I could redo it again and get the water scroll to walk on water. We're gonna get this guy. It's gonna give us our hop ability, and this is what we're gonna use to get over the slug. This trick isn't hard, but I don't like it because it's hard for me. So essentially what you just saw was it's kind of the opposite of what we did at the very beginning of the game, where we canceled the jump at the very start. I'm sorry, at the same frame we landed. We're actually canceling it at the end. So we get our boosted jump and then we double jump, and that gets us up just enough to go over the slug. Come over here, do a double jump, break the crest. Switch to our regular sword. And we switch because that just makes it a little faster going into the fight we're about to get into. There is a voice acted cutscene, but it's a little long, so I'm gonna skip it just for time's sake. Lots of dialogue. So this is Kojiro basically saying, fight me or you don't get the princess. And what we want to do in this fight is get him to do that right there. We want to stay close enough to where he will just throw out flames and keep them locked in. We don't want him to do that. That move is okay, but the fastest move is going to be that bird. And he's down. All right, we got the princess. She's going to follow us out, and she is actually going to be what gets us out of the out of here. Because without her, we'd be locked in because the slug is still up. So we are going to use the frames of her butt to push us out. And we literally just sit here and double jump.
And how it works.
Yeah, it's just double jump until she lines us up to push us out, just like that.
Excellent.
So this is where the three mercenaries that we saved comes into play. They're essentially going to tell us that they found clues on how to get to the Frost Palace. and we've got to talk to all three of them to get each separate clue. The last clue being the most important because that tells us how to navigate the forest, which plays into the information about shogi at the beginning of the game. Basically, it tells you the last note tells you to move like a knight, which is 2 spaces up, 1 to the left. Here, left, right, right, left, straight ahead.
I don't know what chess piece does that.
No, so essentially, and this is where the last part comes in. So you go left, up twice, right, up twice, left, up twice, and then keep going straight. And that's the knight piece, or the gold knight. Yeah. So now that we have the information, I've got a little cash on me. I'm gonna pick up some more gels. Gels are actually the gels that we picked up earlier. Were actually meant for the dungeon we're about to do. About a little bit more than I needed, but that's fine. Oh, you know what? Since the church is open again, I can show you guys the other method of doing church entry. So we're gonna come over here, grab the hop ability again. So if you remember at the very beginning, using this ability for a boosted jump was hard because you have to cancel on the first frame that you land. With what we have now, we don't have to worry about that. Because now, we find the frame that we need, which is that frame right there. We scroll cancel. That puts us on our feet. And then we're going to move the camera. Is this right? I want to say this is right. We move the camera so that, yeah. And then, is it analog or D-pad? Man, I can't remember. We're going to use D-pad. Okay, D-pad. And there you go. It's a lot easier than doing 4 frame perfect jumps, and you get the same results. And then from there, you just jump onto the roof and go.
Just a little bit slower, I imagine.
Yeah, it's just a little bit slower. I want to say 20 seconds. I could be wrong. So we're gonna equip the water scroll once again, and we're gonna make our way to the same area where the slug was, but this time we're going to go a different route. So here is another area where we would use the hop ability to get over, but there is a trick that we use called bramble skip. There it is. So if you cancel your jump on the first frame, you have to be a certain distance. Almost had it. Let's see. There we go. You can end up making the jump like that. Now, it doesn't look like it, but there's actually a slight dip in the center of that bramble, and that's just enough frames for you to do your double jump in the middle of it, and then finish the rest of the jump to get to the other side. So this is where the night movement comes into play. So we go left, up, up. Then we'll go right and up twice. And if you get lost, there are things in the area that kind of you can keep track of to let you know your position. So now because this rock is here, I know that I need to go right. Also, this song is a bop. Absolutely love the soundtrack for this game.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying that the soundtrack are absolutely fire for this.
Yes, it's such an amazing soundtrack. Even Samurai Legend, the red-headed stepchild, that is the sequel to this game, has an amazing soundtrack.
Is this the thieves?
Can't tell if I was insulted or not.
No! Oh God, I completely. Sorry, that's a saying, and I wasn't.
Me and my red hair.
Oh my God!
Here.
I literally said that without thinking, and I apologize.
It's all good. It's all.
Okay, so this this trick right here is a little dangerous because it can cause a soft lock. It's not so bad going through, but it is a little difficult coming back. This one you get the boost. This way, coming this way, you get the boosted jump. And you don't have to worry about falling in. So I'm just kind of killing that guy for our Lumina levels. And we're going to take a little detour this way to pick up some extra cash. We don't normally pick that up right there, but it's kind of just to make sure we have enough money to do what we need to do. We're going to grab this ability, which is the clone ability. The rooms that we're going to be going to in this dungeon have specific requirements to be met to get the items that you need to proceed to the boss room. So this one requires that you beat this guy with the mimic ability. Get an insta-death. Requirements get met, and we get the first eye. And what you're seeing me do right there, when you have the Lumina Sword equipped, Musashi gets a counter. It has to be done a little bit after he takes damage, or he blocks a hit. And where did you come from? Because I flat out did not see you. We're gonna grab this stone. And here's what's gonna happen. I'm not gonna do this just for fear of soft locking the game. But I will explain what happens. We're essentially going to step on top of this banister. We're going to throw a jump, and we're just gonna double jump back over. But the reason why that's a soft lock is because by this point in the game, you should have the legendary shoes. The legendary shoes are meant specifically for this area. And they allow you to walk up slick surfaces. But since we don't have them, the only thing that's going to happen is we're going to fall in that hole and not be able to get out. So we're going to use the green eye to go around it just to avoid that situation altogether. You saw that I picked up an ability earlier called Steal. What this is going to allow us to do is push ourselves through a number of spikes. And so from here on, we'll be proceeding as normal for the run. So we take the Still ability, and now we just kind of bust open these Still spikes.
That's convenient.
And we're going to come over here, and we're going to take an ability kind of to help with movement. Dive kick, or D kick for short. So we move into our next room, and this room requires all of us to requires you to kill all of these guys without taking damage. So we'll counter that. We'll counter him, and counter that guy. Grab the next eye and make our way out. So this is the part, that spot right there is where we get our money. And I need to stop using dive kick because I'm running out of BP. But we need to have a certain amount of money at the next part after when we're done here. And getting that, getting the 1,000 is what helps us out. And as you can see, on the side, Musashi kind of turned a little orange and he's not looking too happy. That means we've got low BP. And I think it isn't until it starts getting to 10 when you start slowing down. But it's not a problem because we are going to get an opportunity to refill our BP. There's two ways we can do it. One would be to kill the enemies in the upcoming room and maybe get a lucky drop. The other is a backup strat, which is breaking open a bencho, which isn't out of the way. It just takes a little time off because we have to stop and look at a cutscene when we rescue the individual. So we'll line these guys up right here, and we're going to use the fire scroll to get rid of these guys. We've got a little bit of bencho right there. There's a little bit more. Looking good. What I really want is the big one that drops for 100. What did he give me? Oh, another 500 piece. You know what? I'm just gonna grab that real quick. Fun fact, you can use fusion to grab items. 78 is not bad. It's definitely good enough to continue the run, but I'm gonna play it safe and we're gonna go for the backup. And like I said, it's not out of the way. This is where you would normally this is the route you would normally take to get to the next part. Control replenished. Smack these guys around. and we're going to set up for the next trick. So, like I mentioned earlier, in order to get through this, ooh, hey. Much better. In order to get through this level, you need the legendary shoes, legendary Air Forces. With them, you can go up the frozen staircase, but since we don't have them, we have to figure out another way to get up. So we're going to do what's called balcony jump. So we are going to set ourselves up to where we're like this. And there's two ways of doing this. Well, there's multiple ways of doing this, but the two fastest ways are what I'm about to do, but the fastest way is what all the other runners do. And the only reason why I don't do it the faster way is because I haven't practiced the faster way. It's easier for me, but it's technically harder because the fastest method only requires one jump. This one requires you to do two jumps. So we're going to pause buffer for the frame to store a jump. And we're going to move in the direction of the staircase. We're going to double jump, scroll cancel, and then infinite jump onto the other platform. That's good. I don't know if that's good. Okay, ooh, just barely got it, but we're there. Equip the fire, melt the door, throw in the eyes we just got, and we are proceeding to Frost Dragon. To answer that power, it's not frame perfect. You do have a little bit of wiggle room to play with. It's just a matter of eyeballing it once you get over the staircase to see how much room you have. Light the torches here to open the door. Also would like to say that the theme song for this dragon, or for this boss fight, is absolutely amazing. So coming in, this is why this fight is the reason why we needed the gels, because we're going to damage boost to speed up the time, or to speed up the fight. So we're going to melt the spikes just a little bit, eat the damage. And here he is, Blue Eyes White Dragon.
Is Blue Eyes Ultimate coming up next, or?
No, there's only one.
Sadly.
Oh. So we just had this awesome dragon come up. We're gonna take a nap. Brought a flame. And we're gonna take another nap. All right. And the reason why we do the nap is just because sleeping speeds up healing, and you need as much HP as you can with this. And we're there. And I'm gonna heal just because it's there. We're gonna line ourselves up in this corner, wait for him to turn around, throw some fire in his face. We're gonna come out here, we're gonna face him, block 2 hits, come to this spot, blow some more fire in his face, and hit his core. And you know what? We'll have another nap. All right, we're back. So, the more, every phase he gets a little bit faster. So you got to keep track of when to activate the fire scroll. One thing I will tell you is that he has 3 phases. There's the lunge, the ice spikes, and then he has a giant ice omega beam, and it's really big. We are essentially what do you call it? We are manipulating him so that he doesn't do the beam, because it's the slowest thing he has. And we're not gonna sleep this time around because he's gonna be a little bit faster. We're gonna have to change up the strat just a little bit. Okay, we got the hits in. Block 2. We didn't block it, but it's fine. We got it. Last strike. GG's.
So that looked like a little bit of just like memorizing the patterns, but the boss didn't seem like actually that difficult.
So going into it for the first time, not knowing what his pattern is, yeah, it can decimate you. But yeah, it literally is just memorizing the pattern, knowing what he's gonna do. So now that we have dive kick, we're just gonna be doing that for a little while. We have another cutscene after this, but for the sake of time, we are going to skip it. But I promise you there's going to be some pretty good one-liners later. So we make it back and we realize that there's a problem with the village. Someone is going around dressed as the princess and charging extra taxes to the stores. This is what introduces us to Steamwood 2, but we are skipping that because no one likes Steamwood. So we're gonna go in here first, and I picked up a long tube. We're gonna appraise it. It's gonna be a big straw. Yep, big straw. We're gonna come back and we're gonna sell that for 4,500 Dram. We're gonna come back over here. And I want to get rid. Oh no! I want to get rid of the extra stuff I have, because now we're gonna buy 7 of those, and we're gonna buy 4 pieces of cheese. What? 5 pieces of cheese. Typically, you only need 4. And basically, what I'm setting up for is end game. That's gonna be all the hills we need from now until the end of the game. And we buy, the reason why we buy the cheese now is because the cheese, as it gets older, becomes more potent.
Now there's real life mechanics in here.
Yeah. So it heals us. It heals us a lot more when we use it late game. It ends up being full heals, but we actually don't use them for the heals. We use them to fill up our BP.
Gotcha. I was honestly expecting you to say there was like a food puzzle at the end of the game where you needed specific cheese.
All right, 3rd best line in the game. Hold on.
What? You took our backup for just in case?
There you go.
Who are you calling an imbecile? I'm not an imbecile!
We're just going to do a little optimal movement. We are making our way to the Fire Crest. So that we can get the next scroll. So I will note that throughout this run, we are literally bouncing through chapters. It's not a steady progression like normal. It's just because some things are available on parts of the on certain chapters that you can't get to in others, and we are low on BP, which is okay because from here we'll grab the scroll. And then we're going to get put into a cutscene, and that's going to give us our BP back. What the wind scroll allows us to do is create a cyclone around our bodies as we spin. And we can take out spots like this. Which, now that I'm looking at it and explaining it out loud, doesn't make sense. So, we're going to get shot. We're going to get put in a bencho. And they're going to leave. Because they thought they killed us. And all that BP we lost, we just got back plus 50. So remember that trick I did earlier, the bramble skip? We're essentially going to do that again. This allows us to hold on to the dive kick ability just for a little bit longer. Oh, that's not right. That's not good. That's not good either. There we go. Yep. Now we just zoom our way through.
It's actually like pretty not relaxing. Good movement tech. I don't know what the word I'm looking for is right now.
Yeah, it really the dive kick, yeah.
Yeah. Fun, I guess.
It's definitely a fun ability. I wish there was a way to get it earlier.
Yeah.
So now we're at the point of the game where they are under attack by ants, giant ants. This guy left his pea suit in the gondola house, and apparently the ant just really wants pea soup. So we're gonna do the only thing that makes sense in this situation. We're gonna go to the inn and sleep for a few days. And I mean like
Clearly,
a few days. We are sleeping until Thursday morning.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's literally just me sitting here spamming X.
Yeah, I don't remember giant ants being part of the agreement, so clearly not his problem, right?
Yeah, you know, that's the way I take it. Like, hey, you said I had to get a sword, get a magic sword, rescue a princess, and get 5 scrolls. Nowhere in that did you say anything about giant ants. That's a not my problem. That's an exterminator problem.
You need to summon an exterminator, not me.
All right, so here we are, Thursday, 2 a.m. And so now we have the gondola option, and we're going to take this gondola and pretty much run it into the ant.
I'm impressed the house is still standing.
You know what? I was just about to say that. Like, he's been attacking that thing for a good little while. You know, I feel like at least part of the house should be demolished. I need to get that carpenter's name because, man.
Right? That's what I want my house made out of.
Okay.
So I'm sure.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I'm sure you're gonna get to it, but why did we wait till Thursday to do this?
So we waited till Thursday because it is the optimal time. It gives us just enough time to go through the dungeon, beat the boss, and have it be Sky Day for when we have to liberate the last crest. The last crest can only be liberated on Sky Day.
Gotcha.
So it kind of lines us up to do that. And coming up here, you saw a little animal walking around. Those are called Minku. They give us an additional 25 HP. And it's a good backup strat, just in case, because the last chapter of this game is brutal. But we're not going to take it because we're manly men. Men don't need... Actually, I need that. I really need that. I need that. Come here, please. Come here, please.
You heard it here, folks. Even manly men need backup strats. Everyone needs backup strats.
So as you can see, it's a slippery little guy. Come here. Come here. Oh, he was right there! There we go. All right. So, the reason why it's strongly suggested for any new runners to grab it right off the bat, and we're poisoned. Which, you want to be poisoned, just not right now. Chapter 6 can mess you up. Everything can 1 or 2 shot you.
That doesn't sound fun.
No, it's not. So what you're seeing right now is the reason why we hold on to D-Kick for so long, because it just makes it that much better to navigate. I had a feeling that was going to happen.
At least they're a little lenient with the like checkpoint, for lack of a better term.
Yeah. Oh, hey, this is new. Add that to the list of things that don't normally happen in a run. Make our way up here. Activate our wind ability. Get money that we're never going to get an opportunity to use. hop ability is what lets us get over these shards. We'll grab it again. This is a little bit more tricky because the game wants you to absorb the ability and jump over the chasm at the same time. So we're not going to keep this poison status. We want the poison status later because certain things affect your critical hit, and poison is one of them. The other one being your tiredness. So the more tired you are, the higher your crit hits are, and also low BP. But yeah, if you're ever in a situation where you get poisoned a little earlier, that's you can absorb that guy, and he'll give you the ability Antidote. I'm just gonna avoid these ants. Go around this guy. So right here is a little tricky. You kind of want to push yourself out first before going forward. The frames on those ants are a little bit wider than they look. So if you go right into them, they're just going to drag you straight down. So we did all that to get all this stuff moving. We hit the switch that we hit is going to allow us to go into the minecart minigame. We're gonna take our poison again from this guy. This is the proper time to be poisoned. And we are going into the next banger alert. Oh. So, just as a precursor for potential future runs with you guys, some of us are working on doing this blindfolded as an incentive.
Okay.
And it's not something we would want to do exactly, but we can, because this is a bit of a pain.
So is this all memorized then, or are you going off sound?
It would no. It would be memorized.
Okay, gotcha.
But it's such a long thing to get through. You have 3 mine shafts to go through.
Oh jeez. That's impressive that y'all are. You said you're working on it and you're not there yet?
Yeah, well, I think some of us have actually done it.
Okay. I was gonna say, it's impressive to hear that y'all are working towards it, and if y'all pull it off or have pulled it off, like, that's super impressive. Blindfolded anything in video games is impressive, like... I can't play some of my... I find it hard playing my speed games with my eyes, and I can see things.
Right?
Like, if people manage to pull things off blindfold, all the power to you. Like...
So this is actually a really good, this is just an auto scroller, so this is a good opportunity to ask any questions you might have about the run so far.
I feel like you've been doing a very good job. I don't think, if I have had any questions coming up to this, you either explained them or I forgot them, which I don't think is the case.
Okay, cool.
You've been doing a pretty good job about explaining everything.
Awesome. Yeah, there's not much to explain to this. Move to the left, move to the right, dodge the ants, don't hit the rocks, wait for the gate to close. You get 3 chances, 3 strikes you're out, and I can't remember if it's a game over or you just start back at the beginning of the minigame. I feel like you start back at the beginning of the minigame because that might be a little too cruel to get you all the way out here, and then it's just like, oh well, hey, sucks to suck.
It turns out I did have a question at one point, and you just reminded me of it.
Okay.
Is there? I have to imagine there's some sort of save system in this game.
Yes. So this game is very unforgiving. There's no autosaves. So if you forget to save and you die, that's it.
Yeah.
But there are certain points called memory boxes, where as long as you don't turn off the game, it will bring you back to that memory box.
Okay.
Which we will be utilizing before we start Chapter 6.
So that's something that, like, new runners will be able to take advantage of if needed.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah. So you always the save spot is always at the same location. It's at the end. So every time you go to the end to sleep, that is an opportunity to save. And the memory boxes are kind of scattered out throughout the game. So there are plenty of opportunities to do that.
Okay. And, starting off, that is something that, I mean,
yeah,
I assume
that
it's
is
just
something you can. Yeah. No, I was just saying that is something that you can take advantage of in the beginning, when you're first starting out, just to keep you from,
I'll do it a favor and slice it to shreds.
ending up on a complete reset.
Yeah.
So going into the reason why we went into what was called level routing and working on building up Lumina and building up body was for this fight specifically. This fight is a pain, not because of the boss, but because of what you have to do to kill the boss. You have to reach a damage threshold on the face for it to expose the core. So obviously you want to get yourself as high as you possibly can in levels to put out the max amount of damage. Also, what I mentioned earlier about the poison effects having an effect on your crit hit chance. Being poisoned increases your crit chance by 50%. It's probably not gonna seem like it, depending on how well or how bad this fight goes. It's literally a coin toss. But the more crits you get on the face, the better. All right, one crit, we're good. So every time you see the sword light up like that, it's a crit. And during this fight, we're actually gonna sleep. This is gonna help us speed up time to get to Sky Day. I know it looks like I'm taking damage from those spikes, but I'm actually not. I'm on the frame. I'm on the frame of the other part of the body. All right, missed the crit there. And hitting these guys just kind of helps out with getting more levels. There's the other crit. Cool. Activate wind sword or wind scroll. Come over. Give the butt a little smack. And we got an next crit. Cool. Definitely want to avoid antidotes if you can. And if you get it like I just did, just walk into the tail end and you'll get poisoned again. And we'll take another nap.
I love that you can just nap in the middle of boss fights.
Come back over. Got another crit. Probably one of the best mechanics. Sleeping is probably one of the best mechanics they added in this game.
Honestly, I love that it's a mechanic. That seems amazing.
Got our next crit. Nice. So Chat is probably watching me make a weird face while I'm moving the controller. Basically, what I'm doing is when I get caught, is I'm rocking the analog stick as fast as I can from left to right. That's the fastest way to... We got healed again. How dare. That's the fastest way to get out of being held. You got healed again. It's 1:45 on Sky Day. You know what? We'll sleep for a little bit. That's good. So we want to set ourselves up to getting to the crest right at 7 a.m. You have between 7 and 12 p.m. 7 a.m. and 12 p.m. on Sky Day, and we got it again. To liberate the crest. Woo! Okay. You know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and do this. So if you don't, for whatever reason, escape fast enough, what's gonna happen is she's gonna pull you in, and she's gonna do like pretty much a downpour of venom from her mouth, and it hits for, what is it, 35, 36, which I had exactly 35 at the time. All right, and that's the last hit. Hit the core. GG's. If you do end up in a situation where you're taking damage from that grab, I believe you can mash out of it. But it is a very not great situation to put yourself in.
Don't get got is what I'm hearing.
Yes, yeah. Because the damage happens so frequently, as the venom or whatever you want to call it is coming down, that you really can't keep track of the amount of damage you're taking at once. So while it looks like you have a whole lot of health, you'll see a game over screen before you realize what happened.
Gotcha. Before we get any too much further, is this a good time for a break?
This is actually a perfect time for a break because we're going right into the last chapter of the game.
Excellent. So we're just gonna take just a few, about a 5-minute break here, just so everybody can get up, stretch their legs, you know, get a snack if they need to, anything like that. Before we get to go over to the break, though, just a few reminders that alongside all of our reoccurring shows, the GDQ Hotfix also has a few week-long events, Frost Fatales, Flame Fatales included. And these are women-led events that are held twice a year supporting other great charities. And if you have any ideas for your own show or one-off events for the Hotfix, you can go to gamesdonequick.com/hotfix to submit your ideas there. We're going to go to our quick break, and then we'll see you back in just a few minutes here for the last chapter of Brave Fencer Musashi. Bye. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Games Done Quick Hotfix. This is How to Train a Speedrunner, and we are taking a look into learning Brave Fencer Musashi, and we're here with Proto Kami. How are you doing, Proto, after that break?
Good. Got some more water. Staying hydrated.
Staying hydrated is important. I also got some more. Before we jump back into the speed run, did you have anything you wanted to go over?
Yeah, so I've been noticing in chat that everybody has been asking what's behind me. This is an arcade that I kind of built from scratch. I based it loosely off of the Astro City cabs. I'm a huge fan of candy cabs. And so my ultimate goal is to make 4 or 5 of them and kind of run my own arcade out of my basement. The game that you see is Alpha 3. It's ran off the CPS2 board. I also have a Taito board. These are all original arcade parts, by the way. The Taito board has Puzzle Bobble 4 and a really good puzzle game called Landmaker. You can play that for free on Fightcade 2. Really amazing game. I would not recommend getting into this because it's very expensive. Very expensive. Like, people charge out the butt for nostalgia. I've already regretted going into it, but yeah, I love working with my hands, and that's kind of what got me started on it. So that's to answer that question.
Actually super sick.
Thanks. Oh, I will say this. One of the things that I'm working on with it, the rest of the parts are coming in this weekend, and ultimately how this is going to be set up is I want to have it to where I can have anybody come in and play it through Parsec. There's a few things that you can get that will allow it that will allow other people access to the controls, so you can just kind of pick it up somewhat remotely and just play it off a shared screen.
Okay, that's dope.
I will say that isn't ideal for fighting games, just because you have better options like Fightcade 2, but for puzzle games like Puzzle Bobble, Landmaker, and everything else in between, the latency isn't terrible for those. So I think it's a fun little project.
I'm invested in the project all of a sudden. That sounds amazing.
It's yeah, I'll keep you guys posted on how it goes. I keep pictures of progress up on Twitter and Instagram, like stuff like that. So if you guys are interested to see the process and how everything goes, you can just check me out on there. Just Protokami on both of those. Also, if you guys are interested in the run, definitely join the Discord. Like I said, everybody in the Discord is super friendly, super helpful. You will always catch at least one of us in a Brave Fencer stream, whether you're speedrunning it or not, because we love the game that much. But we are always ready and eager to help any new runners that come our way. And that's my spiel. All right.
Sorry, I'm grabbing links to the Discord and stuff for
No,
you.
you're fine. I'll let you do that, and we'll keep this going. So we left off. We just beat the Ant Queen, and we're going to go into the next part, which is, would I call it the last trick? No, it's not the last trick we do, but it's the last trick we do before going into chapter 6. It's difficult, mostly because it's repetitive. We call this monster jump. There's 2 methods to do it. I don't know the correct way, so I just kind of made up my own way. So we're going to come to this wall, and we're going to 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, there we go. And we're going to jump off, do a double jump, and we're just going to sit here and do a bunch of infinite jumps. And as you can see, we're gaining height as we go. And now we have just enough height to get up here. Now, the reason why that jump is not favorable compared to the other one is because when you're first starting out, you can't see where you are, so you can't get a good eye on when to cancel into the consecutive jumps that you're going to end up doing. But I've been doing it for so long that it's pretty much a by feel trick for me. And you just do it. So now we are here, and we are between the hours of 7 a.m. and 12 p.m. And one of the other ways to know that you can liberate the crest is by the rain. So we're gonna charge, get the crest, and it's gonna take us to Soda Pop Fountain. Also, thank you for dropping those links.
Yeah, no problem. You know, I want to make sure that everybody has the ability to, you know, get the Discord and then also follow you and get any of the information or just follow your exploits on your amazing arcade setup or your speedrunning endeavors or any other endeavors you have.
I'm seeing someone mentioning the knuckle strat we mentioned earlier with Sonic Boom.
Yeah. I believe that we talked about that off screen, but yeah. Proto was doing that jump earlier while we were testing levels. I was like, oh, this is just Sonic Boom. Easy.
So a lot of this is it's literally just optimal movement. This part that I'm doing right here, there's a more optimal way to do it, but this is the safer way to do it. In a sense. I have an issue with staying on the outer platforms, which is what you would use to navigate through. I feel like the frames on that are just wonky. You end up falling off on places you don't think you'd fall off.
And going for safer strats isn't a bad thing.
No, it is not. It's not at all. I mean, as far as this goes, the only real thing you lose is time, because you fall, you have to go and go through the door, come back up, and do it all over again. Okay, so we're going into chapter 6. This is the memory box right here. Yep. We're just gonna go ahead and take full advantage of that. And we are going to proceed to if you've ever played Operation, it's kind of the same thing. Don't touch the sides or you will be deathly electrocuted. Also, the water that you see on the bottom is also electrocuted. Electrically charged, sorry.
Yeah. Is this like before where falling will just put you back to... Okay.
That's what it does.
Gotcha.
All right. You know what? We'll take one of these, and we're just gonna get it back. So typically, you want to go into this fight at full health because Ben hits like a truck. His bombs hit for 99, and his spear attacks hit for 122. Depending on your mind level, I think it's your mind level that helps with your defense. There's no real way to intentionally increase mind level because it's based off of time played. So the longer you take to beat the game, the higher your mind level is.
Okay.
We've got a cutscene, and we're just gonna kind of play it out because.
Hello, Bell little thief.
I love Ben's voice acting.
You're calling me a thief?
Duh. Who cares about what happened before? I can't let you go through. Come on, let's fight about it. You can't beat the boss of leaders' farce.
What an honor to be able to pulverize the leader.
Duh. I'm doing this so that I can give Lumina to Colonel Capricola. Get ready!
We're gonna go over here, attempt to hit. We got one in. That's not really where you get the most damage in, but we're gonna use the iframes of the Lumina spin and not take damage from that bomb. Give it a smack. Counter hit. Counter hit again. Counter hit again. Go for a spin. Go for another spin. And it's just a wash, rinse, repeat. It is possible to one cycle this run or this boss fight. Give him another smack and counter hit. GG's. I didn't want to skip that.
Oh, right.
Speedrun habits.
Sometimes you miss the best lines in the game.
Yeah. Okay. This is not hard, but it's not nice. It's just it's a matter of memorizing the doors you're supposed to go through. And for those of you that didn't know, which I didn't know when I first started playing this, and when I was told, I was kind of mad about it. If you look at the note, hold on. How do you look at the? No, that's not it. It's a calendar. You get a calendar, and the calendar tells you the doors you're supposed to go through. Had no idea until after I started speedrunning this. Yeah, the calendar from the Mayor's Quest.
That's neat that they added a way to like figure it out from earlier on in the game.
Yeah. But there's nothing that tells you to look at that, so you kind of have to like look at all of your options. So we're gonna use the sky scroll here, and you're supposed to use the sky scroll on this one, but what we're gonna do is just spend the least amount of time on that platform as possible. The reason why we do that is because if you hang on it for too long, that spike trap will come out and block you from going into the next door. What we're about to do now is kind of tricky. We are going to try and get to a platform as fast as possible to get on a cycle of it falling down. You're not supposed to take 82 damage, but if you want to eat that, you can. And it just gets us on the platform a little bit earlier. We're going to take out the 4 flame pillars. And this next thing we're about to do is called wind jump. This is up there with one of the hardest tricks in the game because even at a casual level, this is difficult. It is a frame perfect jump. I want to say missing that jump is a minute and 30 loss.
It's not terrible, but also,
yeah, you don't want to I feel like you don't want to lose that much time when you're right here at the end, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's definitely not a run ender, but it is a demoralizer.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
All right, now we go in and fight Ed.
How kind of you to come. Your next opponent is Leader Force's brilliant boss, Ed.
Huh? So you're their leader?
You're looking at him. I may be small, but you can't defeat me like you did Ben. I must thank you before you go to your grave.
What do you mean?
You will be put away by me. Then I can give Lumina to Capricola and be promoted and live happily ever after.
Perfect.
Yeah, you wish. You're gonna burn for what you tried to do to the village.
So this guy has a giant
We'll see about that. Enough chit-chatting.
Kamehameha
Better
beam.
say your prayers.
And instead of avoiding it, we're just gonna walk over into this corner and not get hit.
That's convenient.
Oh, hey, that's new. I went in a little early, but it's fine. So, what we're doing is lining ourselves up in a specific position so that we get him to show up at a specific part of the map. We typically want him at the bottom. Yeah, not up there like that. So if that ends up happening, if you're seeing that, you know, the fire is kind of going through me, it's because I'm using the iframes from the Lumina spin to avoid taking damage. Let that swing around for a little bit. And we've got one more hit.
Colonel Capricola, amen.
Okay. You know what? I am going to save here. We are going to take the opportunity and save here because this is where it gets brutal. Everything hits you pretty big. Everything hits for a pretty big damage. Would I like to resume play? Yes. Specifically the walkers. There are flame walkers that do 150 damage, which if you didn't have the bonus health from the Minku, that's an instant death. And oh, we got him just barely up, and we lost him.
Yeah, 150 is a lot for that health bar.
Yes. You got to take into account that we are moving throughout the game faster than it's intended. So,
oh yeah.
While, you know, I'm not saying we could, you know, face tank multiple hits, you know, we could probably take about 2 or 3 of them before we get hit, before we die. If you play through the game normally. Yeah. Memorize this route as a runner, and I'm going the wrong way as I talk about memorizing it. What are we at on items? So the game is gracious enough to give you heal items along the way. Also forgot to say banger alert because this song is actually really good. Those guys, I think, hit for like 83. We're gonna head this way. As a rule of thumb, for any future runners, anytime you see these walkers, do not hesitate to kill them. I forgot to mention, I picked up the grenade ability because it's the best hitting move in the for this part of the game. But it just eats an abhorrent amount of BP. Oh, yeah, we're good. Oh no! I don't even know what I got hit by. From save data, please. This is what I mean, though. This is why I say, hold on. Got hit with that. Oh, okay. That's what happened. That's what happened. We got hit with flamethrower. So flamethrower hit for I got shot for 37 or for 67. Then I got hit with flamethrower. So that, yeah.
Save everybody on your runs.
Yes.
How you're at a top level.
you'll lose a few seconds, but when you're first starting out, it's worth it. There's no reason not to save.
Yeah, this part of the game is pretty unforgiving in the speedrun.
It really is. We can where are we at? Where are we out on the count? Because we need to add that to a list of things that don't normally happen in a run. I think we're at 4.
I think you're right. If you wouldn't have just asked me the question, I could have told you all of them, and now that I'm trying to think of them, they're gone.
Crazy how our brains work, huh?
Right?
But if you guys noticed, I did go for the kill on the walker, and it can still throw out a flame up until the leg actually falls off. So you definitely have to be careful. That is by far the deadliest thing in this game. Those lasers hit for 98, I believe. Grab that. A shot to the face. Right, it's fine. I want you guys to know that because of what I did bring infinite shame to the Musashi speedrun community. Not only because I died to the walker, but also because I saved. So we're gonna wait for 2 of these walkers to come out, and we're just gonna immediately take them out. Grab that. And we are going into the next phase. We're gonna go ahead and equip Sky Scroll. Get it loaded and get out of here before he blows that. Because no one likes taking 150 damage for no reason. This next trick we are going to, I'm going to try and explain it on the fly. Okay, we got the setup. So now we need to see if we can get it. We're going to essentially use this walker to push us through. We did not get it. Which is fine. But it's just a little time save on not having to break that what you call it down. But the walkers, there's two opportunities to do this, and the walkers have three phases it can do. It can do the one that we're looking for. It can go in a completely different direction, or it can just not show up. And it looks like we got the one that doesn't show up for this one. So this is where the cheese comes in. Oh, wrong way. Not the list. Grab that, get that. You know what? I'm not dealing with it. Push this guy back. We're gonna line ourselves up here. Throw 2 bombs. Grab the falling bench on the other side. Now we take a little elevator ride up. This particularly, I couldn't remember what it reminded me of, but I know now. There is a level on Streets of Rage 2 where you ride one of these things up to Mr. X's office. All right, we're just gonna leave it as is. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and cheese. When we get in here, you need to immediately jump because there's a sword guy and a walker. The sword guy's gonna swing for you like that. And then that happens. So, worst case scenario, you get hit by the sword guy and he delays you just enough for the flame walker to get you. And now we're off to the best boss fight in the game.
I'm Leader Force's fashionable leader, Topo. Welcome to my rave party.
Who's the real leader anyways?
Who cares about that?
You're right! Who cares? Come on, let's duel!
What? I'm shocked that you'd even think of hitting a girl.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Huh. How about this? You try to keep up with my dance.
It's so nice.
Dance or
It's so nice to see so many people know what this is. So essentially, this is Dance Dance Revolution, where she's going to show you what the pattern is that you're dancing to, and then you have to repeat it. So there's actually a lot of leniency for this. You can actually delay it enough to see where she's gonna go if you forget the pattern. So I will say after this, we have about 20 minutes left of the run.
Okay. Is the pattern random, or is it like the same thing every time?
It's the same thing every single time.
Okay.
Oh no! My legs! That was my final rave. Farewell, dearest Capricola.
Okay, so at this point, if you feel like you've ran through your health items, the game is gracious enough to provide 2 here for you. So,
yeah.
What's up?
I was gonna say, yes, the bunch of loot right before an ominous door.
Yeah. There's nothing happening after this at all. Nothing you need to be scared for. Nothing where I'm going to absolutely save.
Ominous door, and you should save right now. Can't imagine what's going on here.
Hey, that's Princess!
Musashi!
Tetsuo!
Capricola, you loser! Where are you taking her?
You're just walking up here as fast as you can. This boss fight is called Tower of Death, Todd for short, and it is 100% RNG, and we all hate it.
Huh? What the sky scroll activated itself!
So essentially, we're going to be floating around this giant tower looking for the core to strike. It has 3 phases. One is where these come out. The second phase is half of these go away and are replaced with an electrical fence. And the last phase is mini death beams that shoot out of every eye and hit for 98.
Yeah, this sounds fun.
Oh, it's so much fun.
So I imagine the...
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I imagine the RNG, and this is just which one's moving and when, or which direction rather.
It's where the eye pops up. There's no calculating it. There's no you don't know.
Okay.
Like I've had runs where there's the electric fence. I've had runs where I would go one direction for so long. That's right here. And it was behind me the whole time.
Oh no.
I kind of prefer this one because I have a little bit more movement to kind of bob and weave between the pillars. Oh, it's right there. And I don't really mind the death beams that much either. Because, again, just free movement.
Yeah.
Just have to, not touch the giant death beams. Like those. Oh, there it is. There's another one. Oh, Todd's being kind of nice today. Behind me. Oh, hey! Yeah, so there you go. 98. That's fine. It's all right. We're going to go ahead and do that. Yep. We're going to do it again.
Yep.
Okay, so on this part of the fight, the timing for striking the cores is a little bit tighter. So it's imperative that you find it as fast as possible, because if you miss it, you end up going an extra cycle for every time that you miss. And so for this part, the eyes are going to open up, and that's going to happen. If you get hit with that, your controllers get reversed.
Okay.
Yeah, not fun.
Is it for the rest of the fight, or?
No, just for a short period of time.
Okay.
I totally went through that electricity, and I didn't take damage. That's happened twice now, and I can't explain why. So now we get the mega lasers. Oh, look! Nice! Couple of things to note. The strat that I was doing, I was putting myself in that corner of the that block. And if I were in a position where all of the eyes around me were open, that spot keeps me from getting hit. It's just a safe bet to just do it anyway, because you know you can avoid it. We've got another cutscene here, and I'm just gonna let it play out.
That is as far as you go. Unless you do not care what happens to this girl.
By the way, the main villain has a German accent.
Musashi, like, hurry up and save me! This guy stinks!
Hey, so you're Flatsky.
That's correct. Capricola, take the Lumina from the midget. What are you waiting for? Get my Lumina! Schnell, hurry!
It must be easy to give orders and complain about everything.
Hey, is that how you say
What
now
life
in
you
German?
have.
Schnell?
Do you know
Anybody
how
who speaks
many
German?
lives you've destroyed? Ha! As though you'd regret anything. Why'd I even ask?
It's Russian. Oh, excuse me.
You can't order me around anymore. I've been waiting for this moment ever since. Ever since you killed my parents.
What are you saying, Capri? I do
All right,
not
Google
remember killing
Translate.
Your parents?
Don't fail me now.
Remember this?
John!
How was it spelled?
That hat! You can't be!
Good for you. You remember.
Schnell is fast. Okay.
Fast.
That's natural. Even you.
Okay. Ooh,
could
that is
be
German.
there's
Oh,
one
thank you.
who's Prince. I've come for revenge.
Oh, Durstquencher's prince. I thought you died
What a
with
twist.
your parents. But Capricola, that was an accident. I did not mean to.
Huh. An accident? Don't make me laugh. I saw everything. You.
John, watch out!
Yeehaw! Bullseye! Hey, Pops, you all right?
Don't understand that, and it makes me
That's
mad.
a good
You
boy.
have a German father with a
Done.
hillbilly accent.
Now I should get the Lumina from that Musashi.
Musashi, please help me!
Musashi, don't give it to him.
John,
Apparently, you
I'm
have to
sorry,
roll
but I
a
don't know what's
d20
going
for
on
your
anymore.
accent in this world.
I won't let Flatsky have his way.
Now that the Lumina is mine, I can rule the world! Ha! Go away, you tomboy. No need for you anymore!
Princess!
So if you think that's the worst thing to happen
You're
to
gonna
John,
get it, pal! Princess,
I
you
regret
all
to
right?
inform you. It's about to get worse.
Musashi. I'm okay. But Like if we don't do something, Vlatsky's gonna take over this world.
Maybe.
Now I will be in the history books. How exciting. Give me eternal power, legendary sword, Lumina!
So if you haven't noticed, this game is very lighthearted in a sense throughout the entire game, and it just takes a extremely serious turn towards the end. This is the part of the game where you find out that everything you've been doing has been the wrong thing. You've actually been breaking the seals that house this giant evil wizard and not making Lumina stronger. Well, kind of have been, but you know.
Yeah, this is the Wizard of Darkness. Looks powerful. Let us see. First, go over there and get
So
rid of
we
that
should have done nothing and we would have been better off.
Yeah, if we did literally nothing,
Say your
none of this would have happened.
Is there a speedrun category for that?
I am free. Now no one can stop my plans for destruction.
Wait, so we were the bad guy the whole time?
Why did that monster
Yep.
come out of Lumina?
The whole time.
As I expected.
I thought chat was memeing earlier.
What's going on?
The Wizard of Darkness wasn't sealed by Lumina, but was sealed within Lumina.
You mean that I've been doing all this to release the Wizard of Darkness?
No wonder brave fencer Musashi had Crest Guardians protect the scrolls.
Watch out! It knows we're here.
Musashi, get out of here!
What about you, John?
Don't worry about me. Oh yeah, take care of Leno for me.
Context, Leno is his dog.
Musashi, hurry up!
Oh. That's...
John!
Yep.
Shoot! It's all my fault!
Yep.
Poor
What
John.
are you saying? For crying out loud, cream the creep! You can do it, Musashi! Uh-oh. Anyways, I think like we should get out of here. Come on, let's go!
Hey, wait for me! Huh? Lumina came back? What's going on?
Since you'll never come across it, I'm pretty sure I've read something somewhere that came directly. I want to say it came directly from the creators of this game. John survives, getting a bullet
That's
through
impressive.
the lung and stomped on by a giant wizard. He survives. I'll have to find it somewhere, but I thought it was crazy.
That is one high con save.
So this is just literally optimal jumping. Stay ahead of the wizard. Don't fall off the platforms.
You are late, Musashi, as always.
Like, sorry. Got kidnapped again.
Kochiro!
Like
You're still
that's a world
Let
record.
go of the
Like
princess!
you were just freed.
You actually think that you were able to get rid of me?
That was a whole minute and
How
30
about
seconds.
this? If you agree to a duel, she can go free.
All right. You never give up, do you?
No time to chit-chat. Musashi, get ready to perish.
Princess,
Gold
watch
splits
out!
on that.
Yeah. So Kojiro gets absorbed. The princess gets yeeted.
Princess!
But don't worry, she's fine. And now because he absorbed Kojiro, he goes into a weirder form?
Duel. Musashi, get ready to perish. Duel. Duel.
Shoot! It absorbed Kojiro. Oh well. Gotta find the princess.
That just sounds so funny to me. Oh man, he absorbed Kojiro. Oh well.
That doesn't sound like my problem. Moving on.
Okay. This can be a little bit tricky. If you fall here and die, you just start back from the beginning of this point. Best thing you can do, hit a double jump, face the wall till you land, and keep going. Just to make sure you don't slide off. If you're running this on a PS1 or a PS2, every time he lands against the wall like that, there's going to be a little bit of lag. The PS3 is the only thing that runs this optimally with no lag.
Princess! Oh, I thought you were...
Musashi.
Looks like their personalities bonded, and now I guess all they want is me. No worries. I'll smash it to bits in return. Until then, stay here. And don't let anyone kidnap you again, okay?
No promises.
I'll be all right. Just don't lose, okay?
The main character is very blunt.
Yeah. So, the strats for this boss fight is we're going to strike the core on the center of its head, but we have to space it because he has iframes. He has points of invincibility where he can't be hit, and if you hit him during these invincibility points, he'll grab you and throw you off. Getting thrown hits for like 63 and falling off hits for 15. 4 and 5. We want that right there every time. Flames are his fastest move. And that's his slowest move. The safety strat for that shockwave is just to use Sky Scroll. And that's what that looks like. One more smack, and we're going into phase 3. This one is a little bit more tricky. We're going to basically... This is the only other time where fusion is relevant to a boss fight. He's gonna absorb all the stuff around it. He's gonna turn into Frieza, and basically we're gonna wait for him to finish a cycle, throw fusion at him, absorb him, and then strike him while he's a core. And there's actually a very specific setup to do to put them in, where you can get multiple grabs on them.
Huh? You're gonna regret it, pal.
We start off throwing fire. Go for the throw. Strike the core, and we're gonna walk off. The reason why we walk off is because we want to put enough space between us to where he'll come for us. And I missed. Ooh, hey, that's a lot of damage.
Yeah, that hurt.
Definitely gonna get hit again. So I missed both phases. It's possible to get two strikes off of that, but I messed up the setup. For another hit, and we'll just go back this way. Got the second. And I might be able to finagle one more hit. No, okay. This is hard to avoid, but it's possible. And this will be the last hit. And time. So the optimal strat for that, for this fight, is basically we call it the triple double. You get three core hits at the very beginning, and then you get 2 hits after. Obviously, that's kind of a specific setup, but it's possible to beat them just doing 2 at a time. It's a little easier to do. It just takes a little bit longer.
Mm-hmm. So outside of like that first little bit where there was some rather tricky, well, tricks. That wasn't intentional. Outside of the first like hour, that doesn't seem like it's too difficult to pick up. Like there's a moment here and there, but everything else seemed relatively straightforward or at least easy to practice.
Yeah, it definitely is. Like once you get past the beginning of the game, like it's all straight optimizations. That's all it is. Optimize movement, optimize boss fights. There are a few tricks here and there that you have to practice on, but the brunt of it, the hardest part is the beginning. Once you make it past the first 20-25 minutes of the run, it's good. You're good.
From now on, we will tell you before we take a vacation.
So it's a lot of practicing the first little bit. I guess specifically that it was 4 frame perfect.
Yeah. So you have Steam with Skip, you have Trebuchet, you have L Jump, and then you have Church Escape. Now keep in mind that Steam with Skip is optional for when you're first starting out. And Trebuchet is optional for when you're first starting out. Even, as a matter of fact, I think World Record was done without Trebuchet, so it's not needed at all. But you can do Steamwood all the way up until top 20. You don't have to do Steamwood Skip, which is plenty of time to learn the run and learn the setup for the Steamwood Skip trick.
Yeah.
But the only trick that is
And the
mandatory
name
for the run,
Musashi.
well, I call it mandatory,
cannot
but you can
be.
technically skip it if you want, is
I'm the
L jump, the
legendary
one at the
brave
very
fencer
beginning where we
Musashi.
absorb the hop
How's it
ability
going, old
and
man?
cancel it on the same frame as we land on the ground. There's no way around it. You kind of have to do it.
Yeah.
But outside of that, you know, it's a good run. It's a fun run.
And that's also something you could have a save for that, and then you could just practice that. I don't know, 10 minutes each night or something until you get really good at it.
Yeah. That's really all it is. You practice it however long you can, 10 minutes a night, 15 minutes a night, until you get comfortable with it. And that's all it is. It's just, putting yourself in a position to be comfortable with performing the tricks.
Yeah. Do you have any other thing you want to say about the run, about your stream yourself, anything like that?
Yeah. Again, guys, you guys saw the run. It's a very fun run. It's a very easy run. Oh, I'm sorry, I kind of lied there. It's it's a decent run. Don't let the tricks that you saw in the beginning, for those of you that's seen it, don't let those deter you from wanting to try it out. If that's something that you want to do, definitely give it a shot. The Brave Fencer Musashi Discord is extremely open and ready to help any newcomers at any point in time. We are always in a Brave Fencer Musashi stream whenever we find one, and all the better when we find one where someone's trying to actually learn the game. As far as me, I do speedrun other things. I do A Link Between Worlds. I do this game. I do Link's Awakening for the Switch. I'm currently learning Dread. I also do Scrub City Saturdays, Scrub City Sundays. It's basically a weekend where we do retro fighting games and like Alpha 3 and puzzle games, and I hold bi-weekly tournaments for those games. Right now the focus is Landmaker and Tatsunoko versus Capcom, which was a pretty good game that came out for the Wii, and it just didn't get a lot of traction because, well, it came out for the Wii. Outside of that, that's pretty much what we do on my channel. And every now and then you'll catch me doing tech stuff like this or some other crazy thing that no one has really a whole lot of use for, but it's still kind of interesting to learn. But yeah, that's it for me. That's all the spiel I have. Thank you guys for inviting me and giving me the opportunity to do this. It was a lot of fun.
Before we get too far away from it, you did say it earlier on it, and you kind of said it just now. I just want to reiterate. If anybody has any questions that this tutorial didn't fully answer, they can jump in the Discord, ask questions. People will help them out.
Yes, 100%. You can DM me, you can ask me in my Discord, but you're gonna get the most help in the Brave Fencer Musashi Discord.
Excellent. And yeah, thank you so much for coming on the show and teaching the game. Like you are you're clearly very passionate about this game, and it's awesome to be able to have runners who are like super knowledgeable in their game and also very passionate about their game. Come on and teach their game, because really, like, we want to share our passions with other people, and speedrunning is awesome. And I want more people in the speedrunning communities, and I would love if more people, speedrun this game.
Yes, exactly. Thank you.
I mean, like, that's what everybody wants, right? We want to share, our speed games with other people who like the games and might want to,
No, you're
enjoy the game.
Absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Like we love getting new people in, and just seeing people experience it for the first time, growing as a runner, getting those hard to get tricks that you couldn't quite get before. It's always just it's such a feeling to watch a new runner make that kind of progress. Mm-hmm. And we're hoping that this provided an opportunity for someone else to be that next person. Prime example. I recently, and not to be too much of a time hog, I lost second place. I've been the second place runner for a little over a year, and we had a guy come in and started learning the run, and in under a year, not only did he take the second place spot, but he got a sub 2 hour run, which is kind of where we are as the top 4 runners are kind of trying to work towards, is just getting that sub 2 hours.
I mean, yeah, that's awesome to have somebody come in and just, they just mesh with the game, and it also drives the competition, right? Because
that's exactly what it did. Like seeing him make such a strive in such a short amount of time, kind of like put that fire back in me to get back into the game, because it's been mentioned. I do also speedrun Samurai Legend Musashi. We don't really talk about that game, but I'll say it. It's fun. I enjoy the game. It's fun for what it is. The only problem is that it's a 4 hour game. It's speedrun. I mentioned how we don't enjoy the cutscenes for this game because it's faster to just speed through the dialogue. Samurai Legend, you're forced to watch all the cutscenes. So you kind of get to, and it's not even. It's bad. The voice acting is so bad. I don't know how else to put it. But if you get the Japanese version of the game, it's actually really good. Like you can actually stomach the voice acting for the Japanese version, and it's actually easier. The leveling is easier. The bosses are a little bit easier because there's less experience. Funnily enough, that game came out here in the West first, and then it got patched and fixed in Japan. So they got the better version, and we got the bad version.
Well, at least there's a good version somewhere.
Yeah. But yeah, once again, if you're interested in a run, definitely join the Brave Fencer Musashi Discord. We would be very happy to have you.
All right. Well, that's everything I've got. I thank you so much for being on the show. That's all the content we have for tonight. So I do have just a few reminders. We do have Unapologetically Black and Fast coming up. That's a new reoccurring hotfix marathon. Black runners are the front and center in this marathon in the celebration of Black Joy. The first iteration is going to be on the 12th and 13th of this month. It's going to be running 12 hours a day. The schedule is out now, and you can find that over at gamesdonequick.com/hotfix. We also have Frost Fatales coming up at the end of the month. That's going to be February 27th to March 5th. You can use !FF in chat, or you can go to gamesdonequick.com/framefatales for more information on that. That's all we've got for you now. We're going to go to a quick little break while we look for somebody to raid. So if y'all wouldn't mind sticking around so you can help us cheer on another speedrunner doing a run of their own, that would be great. Besides that, have a wonderful night, everybody. And thank you so much, Proto.
No problem.